For clients who've maximized their tax advantage accounts, how do you weigh the guaranteed mortgage interest savings against potential investment returns in taxable accounts? A lot of people say, Harry, I returned 10% last year. My mortgage is 3%. Why don't I just give it to you? Give me 10% and then I'll,
Absolutely.
have free money to pay down the house. And it doesn't quite work that way. I wish it did, but you want to take a look at what your interest rate is, because that's, for fixed people, it's fixed. For variable, maybe the payment's the same, but either way, it's pretty known what you're going to be paying, at least for this month. So the market itself, especially with what's happening, can be very unpredictable. It could be up 2% today, down 2% tomorrow. So we don't really say your expected return is X, because when we ever say something like a portfolio of your risk should return X, what we're really saying is over the very long term, the average past rate of return was close to 5 or 6 or 7%, not necessarily what you're going to be earning shortly.
Yeah. And I'd sort of look at some sort of recent events that we've been through where rates really sort of bottomed out, right? A few years ago, and people renewing now are renewing at rates that are double, if not triple, some, higher. And so mortgage payments are a lot higher than they once were. And so for anybody, who did get one of those ultra low rates at the time and was able to just pay whatever the required payment was and save that additional money, there could be a point in time where rates could increase, your payment goes up. But if you did have that amount of savings set aside, one of the things you could potentially look at would be to take that money out, make a lump sum payment, bring the mortgage down, which would bring your payment down. So it gives you flexibility and options, really. So I think the key thing would be diligence, right? If you're going to take advantage of the low rate on the mortgage, make sure you do put that money aside in a portfolio and some sort of investment, so that if you ever do need it, it's there and, ready to go.
Yeah, I think, the overarching response here to this question is make sure that you're having a conversation with one of us or both of us.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
If you have a very low rate, it could make sense to invest. It also depends on your time frame, your risk tolerance, number of different things. But, generally speaking, I would say that, paying down your principal does make sense because it helps you with your cash flow. Maybe that helps you save a little bit more with somebody like myself. But if the numbers of your mortgage is 10% and I can only return 1 or vice versa, the math changes. So I think the overarching question or answer to the question is just have that conversation.
Absolutely. Yeah.